Down Alabama, your top 10 show. I'm your host, Joy Morris. There have been some plays in Alabama football that would make you cringe, right? Oh yeah, me as well. Well, today's episode is on just that. Some of the most profound injuries we've ever witnessed. I'm going to count you down from 10 to 1 and show you the worst injuries you could ever find in Alabama football. So here we go. At number 10.
Eddie Lacy was injured in the LSU game in 2012. Lacy was Bama's lead running back for that year. In November 2012, Lacy, who ran 83 yards and had a touchdown against LSU, limped off the field with an ankle injury. The Crimson Tide sophomore has been coping with another issue as well, a toe injury. He underwent surgery on his toe in 2012, causing him to miss almost all of 2012 spring practices. However, Lacy, as well as Monte Ball, were traded down by the NFL Green Bay Packers due to his turf toe problems. John Elway says the decision was based on medical. Either way, we have no doubts that our great Eddie Lacy will go far and prove anyone and everyone who ever passed over him wrong. Good luck, Lacy. Mark Barron's junior season came to an end in 2012. Barron suffered a torn pectoral muscle playing against Auburn. Barron led Alabama in tackles this season with 75, including 3 interceptions and 2 sacks. But shortly after, he started considering switching sides to go to the NFL. In 2012, Barron was drafted to the NFL Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No one holds his own like Barron. His unique blend of size and speed makes him one of the most imposing safety prospects to come out of the draft in recent years, and Barron is already living up to the hype in every way. Jonathan Atchison was a linebacker for Alabama. The reserve injured a bicep and went under the knife later in that week. In 2011, he played in just 2 games before a bicep injury caused him to remain on the sidelines for the remainder of the year. In 2012, he was seen on the practice field with a black no-contact jersey on. However, this season, Atchison, a would-have-been fifth-year senior, has not been seen this season practicing with the Tide and is not even on the roster. Looks like that injury was the last game he would ever play for Alabama. Anthony Steen suffered a concussion during October's 2011 season win to Ole Miss 52-7. Steen was effective and helped Alabama form one of the best offensive lines in all of college football. The Crimson Tide ranked 20th nationally in rushing offense and 15th in red zone efficiency. He was seen back at practice in the 2012 season. I had the opportunity to interview Steen at the SEC Media Week event, so make sure you check back to hear it. Well, here's to keeping yourself injury-free, Steen. DeAndre White was dealt a crippling blow during their 33-14 victory game against Mississippi. An ACL injury took White's 2012 season away from him after just his 5th game of the year. Now it remains to be seen if that injury still looms over him. He's been seen wearing a black, which is a no-contact jersey, for the first 2 practices. White is one of the Tide's fastest players, so keeping him at a healthy status is a huge priority for the Tide. We also hope you return to take on each team and to make another memorable year for Alabama, DeAndre.
Well, I'm not done yet. Let's keep this show going at number 5.
None other than Brodie Croyle was on the fence on the decision of signing with Florida State or with the University of Alabama, but on the night of announcing who he chose, Brodie changed his mind from Florida State to now the University of Alabama, which was his dad's alma mater too. Brodie played with Alabama from the years of 2002 to 2005. Croyle led the Crimson Tide to the 2006 Cotton Bowl Classic and was named the game's offensive most valuable player. Croyle was the starting quarterback in 2007 for the Indianapolis Colts. He suffered a shoulder injury in his first game, and upon returning in Week 7, he tore his MCL and was ruled out of the remainder of the season. He came back as the starting quarterback again in 2009, but was later released by the Chiefs in 2011. He then signed on with the Arizona Cardinals, but on May 21st, he announced his immediate retirement from professional football. Brodie is now moving on to a career in real estate. Joe Namath played for the Alabama Crimson Tide football program under Coach Paul Bear Bryant from the years of 1962 to 1964. A year after being suspended for the final 2 games of the season, he led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1964. Bear Bryant would one day be quoted as saying, "Namath was the greatest athlete I ever coached." Despite suffering a serious knee injury in his senior year at Alabama, Namath was drafted by the NFL, and in the end, he signed with the Jets. His salary at that time was an unheard of $427,000. After not missing a single game because of injury in his first 5 years in the league, Namath played in just 28 of 58 possible games because of various injuries between 1970 and 1973, as the Jets struggled with their record. With many wonderful talents and successful records he broke each and every year, he continued to be plagued with knee injuries throughout much of his career, causing him to undergo 4 knee operations. On some occasions, Namath even had to have his knee drained at halftime so that he could just finish a game. Later in life, long after he left football, he had to have knee replacement surgery on both legs. Present day, Namath is working to start back up his coaching career with the Jets. Steen Fowler, known for his nickname Nudie, tore his knee up in the second game in the fourth quarter of the 2012 season against Western Kentucky. His leg dangled as he was helped off the field by 2 people. The injury was serious and required surgery. Even though he's had rehabilitation on his knee, he's had a good ways to go to get in season shape to play. But as practice was starting up this season, Steen was seen on the field in a black jersey, which means a no-contact order. All indications are that he'll be ready to go by fall camp. Per Barrett Jones, Steen is known as a unique player, a star center. So our thoughts are with you, Steen, to make a full recovery. It's hard to forget the play that ended C.J. Mosley's sophomore season at Alabama. It was borderline grotesque, and it turned out to be just a dislocated hip. Here's what actually happened. Mosley, a sophomore, picked off Jefferson in the second half for the only interception of the game when the LSU quarterback pitched the ball forward like a shovel pass after the play had broken down. The pitch fell directly into Mosley's hands, but Jefferson almost immediately made the tackle. Mosley fell awkwardly and was eventually taken off the field on a golf cart. Mosley is also on the watch list for the Maxwell Award for the top player in the country. Mosley was placed on the watch list for the Lombardi and Butkus Awards as well. Lombardi Award goes to the top lineman or linebacker. Good luck to you, Mosley.
Well, those were some pretty bad injuries, no doubt. But I'm about to show you the worst injury yet to be seen. So at number 1, here is the most profound injury you'll ever see.
Tyrone Protheroe was a star wide receiver for his team. On October 1, 2005, their victory over the Florida Gators 31-3 was bittersweet. The victory was for sure their high point, but their lowest point of all would be Tyrone's career-ending complete fracture of the 2 major bones, the tibia and the fibula of his left lower leg. Tyrone stated in the year of 2011 that he had already completed 9 surgeries to try and repair his left leg to as normal of a state as possible. But even though he has residual pain from that accident back in '05, we only want the best for our legend of Alabama. We wish you the very best, Tyrone, and hope that you get a lot of offers very soon to start your dream career as a football coach.
Well, that's the show for today. Make sure to watch for next week's preview. Thanks for joining me. From my home team to yours, I'm your host, Joy Morris.
Okay, make sure you guys tune in next Friday. You do not want to miss this. You might be on the top 10's next show. We are going to be counting you down on the top 10 biggest fans of Alabama football. So I will see you next week.